ShoreTel user groups, what are they, how do they work, and why do I care? So let's take a scenario, not uncommon. We have an employee who's departed the company, and for reasons of managing the transition and orderly exit of that employee from the enterprise, he's going to maintain a mailbox for a period of time, but we need to control the security phone calls to and from that extension. So we're going to do that through, by the way, I'm on a build 10.1 here, and it may look a little different on your ShoreTel, but generally these features are all present. Under user administration, you'll notice individual users. The two we're going to focus on right here are user groups and class of service. These user groups are applied to individual users so that we can treat them as a class of users. If you look at the ShoreTel out-of-the-box user groups, you'll see that they come executives, managers, and staff. Arbitrary designations, useful but arbitrary. You can create grinders, minders, and finders for all ShoreTel cares. They're just a way of containing permissions and privileges for users. Same thing with the voicemail system and the kitchen telephone, the lobby phone, things like that. So what we're going to do here is drill down on the telephony features, the call permissions, and the voice mailbox capabilities of a particular user group. And we can do that by clicking on a user group and noticing that the screen is divided into telephony, call permissions, voicemail, how we treat the sending of 911 information, and which trunk groups these user groups have access to. Are we pushing out any toolbars to this user? So what I'd like to do here is create a new user group and call it Terminated Employee, and we'll go ahead and save that. Okay, returning to user groups, you can see that our newly created user group Terminated Employee is now on the list. Means that we can assign this to an individual user, but we're not done yet because we need to drill down here and figure out whether the various permissions granted terminated employees are exactly what we want to accomplish. Chances are they aren't. So though I can go click on partially featured and see what that means, I may just want to create a new feature here. So I'm going to copy this one, and I'm going to say termination. So we're going to set a class of service for features, and my sense of it is we don't want to allow a trunk-to-trunk transfer. We don't want to allow extension reassignment. We don't want to show caller IDs. We don't want to record phone calls. And most importantly, we do not want to allow external assignment or external call forwarding. And the reason for this is your employee is now taking a job elsewhere while he's collecting severance, and his mailbox is still active, and he is still answering his ShoreTel extension down the street at his new employer. That's why you want to kill these features right here. So we'll go ahead and save that. And returning back to user groups, we're going to click on Terminated Employees, and as far as telephony permissions go, we want to change that to termination. Go ahead and save that. Let's take a look at calling permissions for this class of service. It currently says custom long distance, and if I go to this class of service, well, you know, at the end of the day, I don't want this person to be able to do anything in this thing. So again, I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to say termination. And so internal only. That's the only thing this class of service is going to do. If I return to my user groups, click on terminated employees, I will now change this to termination. Go ahead and save that. And then let's take a look at this last one, voicemail. Now, it'd be nice to say we could kill the voicemail box, but there are certain features in ShoreTel that absolutely require you to have a voicemail box. Plus, we're keeping this individual's presence alive in the system while we manage his transition out of the enterprise. So he is going to get phone calls and people are going to leave messages. But let's get some control into this. I don't know what a medium mailbox is. Let's go to this class of service. Here's where you set the maximum incoming message length and outgoing message length, and the lifespan of a voicemail password, and all of the parameters associated with the creation and deletion of messages on an automated basis. Do we want to warn this person that they need to change their password, things like that. Once again, I'm not going to use this one, although I don't really see anything here that's a security list, but perhaps I don't want to burden this mailbox with distribution lists, and we do want message notification. I'll show you why in a moment. So I'm just, again, copy this class of service. I'm going to call it Terminated. And I'm going to get rid of system distribution lists. Okay, and go back to user groups, select Terminated Employee, and go to the voicemail section of this screen and save it as termination. So we now have set up a container called Terminated Employee, and we can apply that to a situation in which an employee has left the company while we manage the orderly exit and takedown of that person's credentials. So let's go into our individual users and find out here that Donald Sutherland has left the company. So there are several things I want to do. The first thing, when we create a user, is to assign that user to a user group. Now, Donald was formerly an executive user group. I can go to this user group and see all of that, but we've been there and we've done that. So we also know now that we have a new user group, and we're going to change Donald here, and we're going to move him into the terminal. So once again, we've put Donald in the Terminated Employee class, and we're going to go ahead and save that at this time. And now we're going to take one final step with this Terminated Employee. We're going to go to his personal options. We're going to go down here to escalated profiles and other mailbox options, and we're going to deliver a message. Let's deliver that as a WAV file, and let's also automatic message forwarding. So what we want to do here is that any time this mailbox gets a message, we want to set a destination of his boss was Carol Channing. So if someone leaves a message here, it's going to be automatically copied to Carol Channing's mailbox. We can go up here and actually put Carol's email address and have a WAV file sent along. So we've now shown you how to create a user group called Terminated Employees. You've looked at some of the content in terms of permissions in the telephony features, the call permissions, the size of the mailbox, the assignment of external call forwarding, and issues that you might be concerned about when establishing a new user or a new user group. I hope you have found this informative, and I thank you for viewing.